Welcome to See You Next Tuesday. I'm Jade Chung. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 3, where I am going to talk about mom life. I took a little break from wrestling, and I actually went back to school in 2011. I went back to college for my early childhood education certificate, where I graduated with honors. My dream was to open my own daycare, whether it be managing a licensed daycare or opening my own. I've always loved children. I've always had a passion for teaching children. And even when I was a little girl, I always pretended to be a teacher, and, I'd make a list and pretend to call out all these names for attendance. Just like other big cities, Toronto is super expensive. So in order for me to go to school and continue to go to school and live, I would go to school during the week and work at a nightclub on the weekends. Now, this was a big nightclub by a super popular company in Toronto that's really well known. And it's actually where I met my friend Laura, who I'm going to have on in a little bit. We're going to talk about the nightclub. We're going to talk about being moms, having our own small business. I've always wanted to be a mom. Like, I knew I wanted a family. Kids were always in my plan, marriage, obviously. And not only that, but I also have a big family. And for me, being the aunt or the godmother, I always wanted to spoil all the kids. Going to school was no joke. There's nothing easy about it. You'd spend half of your semester in school with books and everything learning, and then the other half you'd have a placement in a daycare. I was blessed to hit all the age groups that I absolutely adored. I had the toddler, kindergarten, and preschool age groups. They say, like the other students were saying, how the school age kids were really tough because that was the age where they didn't listen to you, and they know that, oh, you're not my teacher, so I'm not going to listen to you. I guess I could say I was pretty lucky that I dodged that one. But I was very grateful that I landed a placement with the Toronto District School Board, and I got to help out with children with special needs. It was such a beautiful experience being able to work with all different kinds of needs. It was definitely an eye-opener, and it definitely helped me grow into the daycare teacher that I later became. After I graduated, I continued to work at the nightclub. Like I said, Toronto was very expensive. Then I met Josh, and while I was currently working for Superkicked, which is a wrestling company in Toronto, it was the beginning of that summer of 2016, I jumped into the ring, or I dove into the ring to break up a count. And the way I landed kind of on my hip. So I landed on my side, so my upper body was twisted, and my hip was completely out, and I couldn't walk. I obviously couldn't walk in heels, so I couldn't work. It was hard for me to do anything. I couldn't get back into wrestling, even to manage. Like, I couldn't stand walking. It was just absolutely terrible. And since I took all that time off, by this time Josh and I had moved into our home, and I was living an hour away from Toronto. So the drive, it was a lot, but I did this drive in the beginning for a couple months when I first started in the nightclub business. Even then, I was working at a restaurant, and then after that shift, I would boot it to Toronto, make that hour drive, and do the night and not get back home until about 4 a.m. So when my back was out, it was so nice not to have that long drive, or not climb into bed at like 4:30 in the morning. I was at the point where I was done with the nightclub scene. I never liked it to begin with. It just wasn't me. So I made the decision to open my own home daycare and just be done with the nightclub. I was so excited. I got my business name registered. I called it Bright Little Choo Choos. And, it was hard at first getting, kids because it's a trust thing. Like, obviously, you want so badly for other parents to trust you just because I know that I have a loving nature and I would help these kids so much. Anyway, it took a while, but I did fill up all my spots. We were only allowed 5 kids, and that was including having Lucas, my bonus son. Being a bonus mom is a very tough title to have, but also a very rewarding one. Josh had his own son already, and which blessed me with becoming a bonus mom. I always say that bonus moms have a very special heart. I mean, you're taking in, a child that's not yours and loving that child with all your heart. You're there to help them grow. You're there to teach them. You're there to show them unconditional love. I gotta be honest, I joined a Facebook group that supports bonus moms. But as I read posts, I think I joined this group for like a solid 6 months. And the posts they were mainly nasty posts. Just the whole nacho kid, as they call it, which referred to not your kid. And so they just don't care for that kid at all. This is them loving their husband. Like, no, yeah, okay, you love your husband, but in order to love your husband, loving his child is also part of the deal. Like, you go into a relationship knowing this. If you don't have that love for your husband's child, then you just wasted your time. Like, I don't understand why people would complain and just talk so ugly. The more stuff that I read, I'm just like, wow, what am I doing in this group? And I immediately left the group. Like, that is not for me. My mom, who was very ill, which I'll touch on that on another episode, but even when her mind wasn't really here, my mom always said, you make sure you love that child like he's yours. And it brought tears to my eyes because, long story short, my mom was in a coma for having a very rare brain aneurysm. In the beginning, she didn't remember who I was. And from time to time, her memory would come back in and she'd remember who I was. And then, a couple minutes later, she'd forget. But during that time, I would tell her about my husband and my bonus kid. And it was so nice to just hear her true colors. She's just so sweet. She just made sure that I knew to love that child as if he was my own. And I said, of course, Mom, that's exactly how I treat him. Being a bonus mom isn't the easiest thing, which is why I am so excited to have Laura on here. And, after the club, we still kept in touch through Messenger with, and commenting on our pictures here and there. But we never had the chance to actually talk to each other. So I'm so excited to talk to her and see how different her life is after the nightclub. Guys, please welcome my friend, Laura Ruzycki. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for coming on. Like I was saying before to everybody, we've never really talked after the club. We've just, sent messages here or commented on each other's photos, but we've never had the time to just talk like this.
Nope. Definitely connected here and there. Yeah. But we've never really sat down and heart to heart it almost.
Yeah. So we met at Union Nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Which is this big nightclub owned by Inc. Entertainment in Toronto. Tell everybody what you did there.
I was the girl who walked you to your table if you ordered a booth for the evening.
Yeah, so if you had a if you booked a booth,
That's
Laura
right.
would be the one to take you in from outside and bring you straight to your table.
Yeah.
And actually, I just remembered I didn't even tell anybody what I did. So I did bottle service,
Right.
and yeah,
I was bringing the people to you,
you were yes, you were.
and I would introduce you to the head of the table,
Yep, yep. And
and
I'd be like,
then
"Give me your credit card."
yeah, that's right. I would be holding their credit card.
Yes. Yes. After a
That's
while,
right.
you guys were asked to grab it first thing because
Yeah.
a lot of shady people.
Well, yeah, and then after drinks, of course, they're not all there.
Yeah. Do you
That's
have
right.
any crazy stories that happened, while people were lining up that you can remember? I know it's so long ago. My memory is shot too.
Nothing crazy that really went down in the line. I remember like in the wintertime seeing like you see the classic photos of like Canadian girls going to the club and the girls are staying there with no jacket on and they're like freezing. Like that sticks out in my mind. And I'm wearing like double Canada Goose.
Yeah. Yeah. What about at the end of the night? I guess that's when all the action would be.
Kind of starting, yeah. Yeah, you'd see people stumbling out, people getting kicked out by Samir.
Oh my God, Samir,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah, Samir, yeah.
He was the head of
Um,
security and
yeah, he was so good. He was so nice. Nothing really crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't remember anything crazy happening in the lines. A memory that kind of pops in my head is not necessarily outside, but inside when um, Justin Bieber showed up randomly one night. And I had finished my shift with the girls, and we were having a drink behind the DJ booth, and all of a sudden Justin Bieber pops in and he like invited me over to like sit with him.
what?
And yes, and I was like, oh my gosh, like to be honest, like what, like I didn't even know what to say to him because I don't know him. He's still a human being, like you're not gonna treat him like a celebrity. That's, I don't know. So it was super awkward, and I was like, okay, well, have a good night, and then just walked back over to the other girls. I'm like, oh man,
What do you, what do you mean you said okay? Like did you go to have
so
a
like
drink
I
or
went over, and like I just sat down for a second. I already had a drink. He was kind of out of it,
uh
and yeah, and
so you knew it just wasn't fun
yeah,
company.
yeah, like he was quiet, but he had invited me over. I'm like, well, this is awkward. Like I asked him if he was enjoying his night and having a good time, and he's like, yeah, yeah. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll be over here. I work here, so if you need anything, you can just always wave me over again.
Ah,
Not that
he's a
I was like in
conversationist.
service. Oh my gosh. And that was the night too that he came in through the back way
Mhm.
and he left through the crowd, and the security and like his security and our security is like, what the heck? He just got up and walked through the crowd. And remember, it was on the news the next day. He had like a $10,000, $20,000 chain that got like taken off his neck or something when he was walking through the crowd.
Oh, jeez. I
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but
Uh, Maybe you weren't there that night. You never know.
there were so many, either that or I was at the other end, like tables 1 to 4.
Right. Yeah, that's
Because
true.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming this was a Sunday night. Because Sunday nights were the nights where it was like our hip hop night.
Yeah. Yeah. So no real crazy stories, I think. Like it's just the typical, people chattering outside. Nothing
Hmm.
crazy outside ever happened. I mean, for me, I just loved working there for like the music and the DJs, and
Yeah.
I just
I
loved listening to that.
I can't remember. I mean, I know there were a ton of crazy things that happened. Like I know that there was a stabbing in my
Yeah.
area. I thankfully wasn't there. I was in the kitchen grabbing limes or something. But I guess that happened. I don't know, people just wrestling and like throwing people onto the table. I can't think of anything any crazier than that. I've only ever had to hunt people like probably 2 or 3 people down my entire time there for payment. And that's like
Payment. Yeah,
that's the most annoying thing ever.
definitely.
You're not just dealing with less than 100, you're dealing with hundreds. And it's just annoying, but it's
And they could be anywhere. They could
hilarious.
be up. They could be upstairs, or they could be downstairs. It is hilarious.
Yeah, but then like
It is. Yeah.
when the guys can't front the money, I personally go out of my way to ask the girls, be like, he can't take care of his bill. Would you guys have any credit cards? And they're just like, what? I'm like, yeah.
He'll find them.
And then he's like, no, I got it. I'm like, okay. So when did you leave the club?
I probably worked there for 3 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably 3 years, 4 years. And then I left. I think it was like right before the summertime in 2015.
Okay, so that was you left.
Like 6 years ago? No, 5 years ago. Maybe it's more than that. Sorry, I'm calculating it in my head.
Wait,
6 years.
6 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I left summer of 2016. Honestly, like me, I went there, I worked, and then I just wanted to get the hell out.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's how like you and I still like were, connected through social media and stuff like that. Because you and I were so much the same. We're like, I was just there to work and enjoy the music. I wasn't there for any other reason except for that.
I just needed to get paid.
Yeah.
I did enjoy the music, especially like hip hop nights. I enjoyed it. Work is work. I disliked doing some of the prep work because most of the girls were just lazy or they were too caught up in their conversations. I hate doing all the work. I hate when people don't put in the work. That was the most annoying thing. So it came to the point where I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. And if they don't catch up, and they kind of caught on because they're like, oh, she's mad. I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't like, I don't care. Like, I'm not here to make friends with anybody. I'm here to work. I was going to school and I needed to pay for school and I needed to pay for my living. Like, Toronto is expensive and that's what I came to do. Like, yeah, I had, I had fun times with the girls and chit chat and everything. But at the end of the day, which is really crappy, is that later on, I just found out how shady they were.
Yes.
Like, when that whole thing went down with Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was gone. Were you there when that happened? I was gone by then.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you know the whole story?
So I heard it from, remember Jamira?
Yes.
Yeah, she had told me that there was like sneaky business with the money and
so
stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm just going to give everybody a rundown here. The manager that we had, he was real shady. He had favorites. So the good booths, the VIP, the DJ booths all went to these certain girls. And they were partiers, and I guess he was letting them take liquor bottles home. And I don't know if he was like stealing money or anything. There was like really shady stuff happening. Anyway, he got caught. All the girls got caught. They all got fired. I was the only person in bottle service that didn't get fired.
Insane.
And when, what's his name? I didn't know if No. I don't even know if I should be saying names, but Oren comes back. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oren had me come to the head office and he's like, do you have anything to do with this? I'm like, what? No. Do I look like it? And like Hillary, she was the head bartender and she was the manager as well, like kind of like office manager. She's office manager.
I was just say, I was gonna say secretary, but definitely way more than a secretary. Like, yes, office manager. Yeah.
She was awesome. She made sure that they knew I was straight and I didn't hang out with those girls.
No, you didn't.
I hung out with them.
With the bar back.
I hung out with the bar back and like just talk crap and it was a lot of fun.
I remember you were never mingling with those girls, never.
Yeah,
you were like, if I were to find you, you were like, just quietly kind of waiting to go serve your guests, like by the bar area, like with Kelly, right? Was it Kelly?
Yep,
Yeah,
Kelly.
the sweetest girl
Yeah,
ever.
yes.
Loved her.
I've obviously never been drunk at work. I definitely have taken a shot with my table. And that's
Mhm.
mainly only because if they spent a lot and because that they're offering me. And it's kind of like out of respect. Yeah, okay. They're asking me to take it as a thank you for my service.
Mhm.
So like I have to take it, but more enough times I do the thing where
You
you know,
kind of pretend. Yeah.
you throw the shot behind
Yeah.
your back.
Behind you.
And I've only been caught once and it was super embarrassing. He's like, I saw that. He's like, as drunk as I am, I saw that. And I'm like, oh crap. So I like legit had to take one. But I did hang out with the girls like outside the club twice.
Hmm. Hmm.
Once they wanted to take me out for my birthday. I didn't understand why, but I was like, okay. And they're like, you have to come out. I'm like, okay. They like planned all these things. I was like, that was so nice. Another girl, she had a Halloween party and it was just carving pumpkins. And they're like, come on, you never like hang out. And so we're just going to carve buttons. I'm like, okay, like I'm down for carving pumpkins, like staying and carving. Sure, I'll do that.
Mhm.
And that was it.
Mhm.
Other than that, like I'm just not interested. I wasn't that party person or just didn't feel comfortable or feel like I fit in. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly. Yeah, it was just a little bit of a different personality, I'd
A lot
say.
different.
That's all. Am I being too kind?
Okay, so I want to talk about being a
Mhm.
bonus mom. I call it a bonus mom because stepmoms kind of have like a negative connotation. I'm thinking of the Cinderella story. So I never liked the name stepmom, which is why I call bonus mom. I'm a bonus mom to a 6-year-old boy, and you're also a bonus mom of two
Mhm.
girls. How old are
Yeah.
they?
They're 8, going on 9
Oh,
soon in a couple months. And then the other one just turned 10.
ooh. So
Yeah.
how old were they when you met them?
They were 3 and 5.
Oh.
I know. When the oldest, she just turned 10, I was like, I've known you for half your life now. It was kind of like a proud moment, to be honest. And then now it's hitting me really a lot lately
Yeah.
that Harper has just passed the age that
That you
Raina
met.
was.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like,
Oh,
what? Where has time gone? Like, oh,
I know.
it just really hits me really hard that they've been in my life for this long, and time has just gone by so fast.
I think of that as well, like with Lucas, he's in grade 1. Holy cow, like when he left kindergarten, there was JK and then SK.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't until he went into grade 1 that I was like, whoa, he's
Hmm.
older now,
A
you
little
know?
boy now. Yeah.
Like
How old was he when you met him?
I met him at 16 months.
Oh, little.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I can't believe it. Sometimes I think about it, I'm like, whoa. And then when I'm like looking at him, when you look at their faces, they're like, oh, they're such little kids. But then it hits you and you're like, whoa, they're starting to get those features of like looking a little bit older,
Hmm.
like the
Yeah,
baby
Harper's going
face.
through that. Yeah.
Jet's going through that. He had the chubbiest face and like the little baby face, and now he's got like the definition of his cheekbones and no, you're my baby.
I know. I know. And Jet and Harper were the same year, right?
Yes, yeah.
2017.
Oh no, Jet is
It was
2018.
okay. He was
Oh,
Willow's
so
year then.
nothing is ever sunshine and daisies. What are the good and bad things about being a bonus mom?
Definite bonus side, like a good side is like just having to know these extra little human beings in your life.
Yeah.
And I find it has stretched me as a person and what I'm capable of doing and
Yes. Yep.
handling. It is very hard.
Hmm.
The downside is I'm not their mom,
Yep.
and their mom wants the say and basically everything in their life. And I have to learn to step back for stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but then also finding the balance that when they're in my home, there's my rules.
Yes.
Not
Yep.
mine, but me and Adam.
Yeah.
But that's really hard.
Yeah, I agree with you.
How about you?
The good is definitely getting that, just that whole experience, right? So you're jumping into something sudden, like with mine and Josh's story. We met and then we quickly got engaged and then we quickly got married. I haven't told my story on my podcast yet. Basically, I got out of a 5-year relationship and I was like, that's it, I'm done. Like, I knew I had a whole year where I didn't date anyone, more than a year. And I knew what I wanted. I thought about it. I'm like, I'm totally okay being single. I'm totally okay. And I even thought about adopting and just being like a single mom. I love kids and I've always wanted kids. I knew exactly what I wanted in a guy. I knew exactly what I'm not going to put up with, all that stuff. And then when you finally meet somebody that just blows you away, that's why I knew Josh was the one. I just knew. Even though we moved so quickly, it didn't seem abnormal. It felt right. We're going on our 5th year. Next month will be our 5-year dating anniversary.
But we're in like the exact same boat because it's been 5 years for me and Adam in January.
Really?
Yep.
I love this.
And the exact same thing. I don't know why I didn't pay this much detail into, you, but sorry.
Oh, go ahead. You don't have to be sorry.
When we really started to connect, though, when we had our kids.
Yes.
That's when we really started to connect because we've been chatting on and off for so long now, like about being a mom and like bedtime and nursing.
Yes.
Like,
getting advice. Yeah. But like, I knew you were a good person, like right off the bat.
And I had the same feeling about you too. Like I didn't add any of the other girls on Facebook or anything like that. Like there's you and Shauna.
Yeah. I have Shauna
I feel
too,
like that's it actually.
And Olivia.
Olivia, yes.
That's
her.
Yeah.
Love her.
We would talk if we saw each other in the locker room. And that was just me. Like I knew who the good ones were. And I did make a point to like say hi to you and like, how's it going?
Yeah. I definitely felt that back then that you were.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I was just the person like, I just don't want to converse with people. I just want to do my thing, write out my report for the end of the night and then leave. That makes me so happy. I knew I wanted you on here. And I'm like, we have so many things in common. And our lives just kind of like aligned and went the same route. So that's hilarious.
Like seriously. Yeah. Because Adam and I met in January. June, I got pregnant with Harper. We moved in together in October. And then she was born March the next year. And then we only just got married a year ago, though. We're coming up. We got married on the leap day last year.
Oh.
Yeah. We thought that was kind of neat. So we did that.
It's sweet because you're like, your wedding photos, like you had all
my
the
girls
kids.
Are in the my babies. I know. It's really nice.
Your photos are so beautiful. Like you're a country girl, right? And I love that because your photos are always so rustic and just country, beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The good for me was, it was challenging because I instantly fell in love with Lucas. I just wanted so badly to have that bond with him, which I did not force because it was all up to him if he felt comfortable around me. So yeah, the good thing was just getting that trust from him. The bad thing about being a bonus mom is I'd have to agree with you as well, is just having to learn how to deal with stepping back. I will say that we have come a long way. I understand in her perspective. I would definitely feel like she was not a fan of me. And she has every right to be because, there's just another person coming into her kid's life. But the only thing I wish that she knew was that I am a really good person, and I'm not somebody that is going to treat her son like crap.
Yes, definitely.
What would you say is the most rewarding of being a bonus mom?
The most rewarding thing is when they walk through the door and they're like, "Hey, Laura," and they're looking
Aw.
for me.
Oh, yes.
And then Adam also says when he picks them up, they always ask, "How's Laura doing? I can't wait to see her." And
Oh,
I know he's not
yeah.
telling me, I know he's not telling me that to make me like to pump me up. He's
Yeah.
telling me that so that he knows that the efforts that I do put in are worth it.
That makes me so happy. Yes, that's literally the best feeling. Yes. I love it so much.
Mhm.
I have the biggest smile because I know that that feeling, it's just love, right? It's just complete love.
No.
Um, for me would be knowing because I met Lucas so young, knowing that I had a hand in his development and his growth, and most recently being able to pick him up and drop him off at his mom's house. We've come like so far, and
Mm. Mhm.
it's gotten to the point where it's cool now seeing his face when he opens the door and sees me, you know?
Aw.
I think like the first time I went to go pick him up, he was like surprised, like so surprised. And it just happened like just this fall is when it started happening.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh,
yeah, yeah.
wow. Oh, wow.
So, and he's smart, you know, he knows like he knows his dad's always the one that picks him up because he has
Hmm.
mentioned many times, you know, how come you don't pick me up? It was only a matter of time. I just wanted his mom to feel comfortable with me picking up, and she's totally cool with it. So that
Yeah,
is, yeah, the most rewarding.
that's
Now
nice.
you have two little girls of your own, Willow and Harper.
Hmm.
What's their relationship like with your bonus kids?
They like idolize them.
Oh,
Any day that the older girls are not here, they're like, when are the girls coming back? Are they coming back today? No, they're not coming back
oh,
today. Two more sleeps. And then the next morning, are they coming today? No, sorry to
oh,
crush your heart.
yeah.
So they definitely and you know what? Now that Harper and Willow are getting older, they can play better with them. Whereas, even when the older girls were younger and Harper and Willow were babies, the older girls would be playing something and the little ones just come and wreck it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now they're to the point where everybody's talking. There's like no like figuring out whose feelings are what because everybody can communicate.
Mhm.
And we're at a different level now where they all can play very nicely together and that's what the little girls just want to do. They just want to play with the older girls all day. Their older
Ye
girls get kind of annoyed with them, but rightfully
yeah.
so. It's the age, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's not an issue at all.
We're just at that point now, so with Jet being able to talk now, like, he's able to express what he wants from Lucas, and which is
Yes.
oh, like, I've been waiting for this day because
Oh.
poor Lucas, like, Jet will come and, like, destroy something, you know, like, he doesn't mean to. Jet is also pretty clumsy sometimes. Like, a lot of times he doesn't mean to destroy whatever he has, but then there are times where he's not very nice and just
Hmm.
comes and grabs whatever. But
Mm.
yes, they're at that point where they can communicate and oh, I'm so happy because I don't have to keep pulling Jet away, and
Yeah, I definitely feel that way now too, that we've gotten to a level where I don't have to hover over them and
yes.
make sure everybody's getting along. Like I can, go to the other room. I can go put my laundry away upstairs and
Yes.
I know it's going to be fine.
Lucas now, he's like, Jet, you want to go upstairs and play? And it's
Oh,
just, yeah, with him wanting to play with Jet, oh, I love it so much. I love it when I hear him ask to go play with him. It's the best.
yeah.
Because it's
How often do
usually,
you have Lucas?
so we have him like half the time. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
half and
Yeah, we're
half.
it's yeah, we're basically the same too.
Yeah.
We're just like it's like a 60-40, not
Mhm.
even like 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see any similarities between Willow and Harper with the other girls? Odd question,
Yeah,
I know.
no. Yes, I do. I find Harper and Ryan have very similar personalities, and they're very much like Adam. And then Raina and Willow are very similar too, a little more sporadic. little more harder controlling their emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I do see that. I mean, I see like Harper kind of looks like the older girls, and Willow's we've always said from when she was born, she's the black sheep. Like she looks nothing like them.
She's wild too, right? I think you were saying.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, she's the
beyond.
wild.
Oh yeah, like the last weekend she took Ryan's cell phone and I was sitting on the couch and it was just me and her. And she saw the cell phone, picked it up, and attempted to just drop it behind the couch, between the couch and the wall. Like,
Wow.
what? Like, what are you thinking? Like, you're deliberately doing that. Like, what are you doing?
The reason why I asked that is because Jet and Lucas are complete opposites.
Oh.
Complete opposites. For example, potty training, Lucas got it right away when both households were on him with it. Whereas Jet,
That must be hard.
yeah, yes, it was very hard. Because at the time I had my daycare, so I was very pro potty training and I
Wait,
was
you ran a daycare?
yes, yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I told
Sorry,
you.
I didn't know this.
See, I told you. We're like we are pretty much living the same life.
Same life.
Yeah. So I had my daycare and I was getting all the other four kids, they were all potty training as well. So it was hard, whenever he'd get back home and it wasn't as strict at his other home. It took a bit, but once everybody was on board on the same page, he got it like right away. And you know what? It did help. I'll give him that. It did help that there were other kids. There was 4 other kids doing it too. So he was also to learn this way. Jet, we've been quarantined, we don't see anybody and it's just Jet. And he has his own mind and he's very independent and really just likes to think for himself. And so he understands it. He just doesn't want to do it. So yeah, he's a bit of trouble. Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up though.
Oh my goodness.
Don't beat yourself up.
I just started. Okay, so I started potty training the first week of November. It's just been me telling him to go this entire time. And it wasn't until yesterday I tried to do I guess it's the oh crap method. Yeah. Now I have him stripped down, no pants, no nothing, well, a shirt. But
yeah,
I don't know if it's working. Like, I know I should be taking him like every 30 minutes, but I feel like he knows. So there's no point in making him go every 30 minutes. And I think I would just piss him off. So I'm kind of I have it out there and I just remind him, I say, hey, if you need to go potty, you can go. And be like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll just go, which is a huge step. I want him to just go on his own. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know that whole thing.
I know it all.
Yeah, complete opposites. Lucas started off just saying half words. He'll be like, moi, tu. He wouldn't say full words till about he was 3.5 is when he really started talking full words and like some sentences and stuff. Whereas Jet,
he's insane. He's like crazy.
He's like 2.5. I think he
Numbers.
knows. Yeah, he counts by tens, counts by hundreds. He knows about like a dozen words that he reads, and they're just so different. Jet's wild, and he's very crazy, very independent. Whereas Lucas was really reserved and so easy to take care of. Completely different.
I think once my girls go to kindergarten, then I'll be able to really contrast that type of similarities or complete differences.
Yes, yeah.
Because Raina was so she was still in daycare when I met her, but really starting to get to know her. She was in JK and Ryan was SK. So Harper starts school in September, so I'll really start seeing.
How do you feel with her starting?
Well, I feel really old. This is the first time in my life that I feel old. Like, how do I have a child that's starting school?
Yeah.
But I'm excited and I'm nervous for her.
Yeah.
I'm excited because she's totally ready. She's super smart. She's just ready to learn more, and she needs something other than what I can give her, you know?
Yeah.
I just think that she needs a higher level of education that I can't give her. And she also needs to hear it from somebody other than me.
Exactly. Yep.
But I'm nervous for her because she is super shy.
Aw. Really?
And yeah, she is very shy. Like, we went to the dentist yesterday and she didn't say like any words. She just nodded her head yes and no. I'm not kidding.
Aw. She seems so like rambunctious though. What the
She's very lively, and she okay, so she can be rambunctious, but that's only when everybody around her she knows and is comfortable with.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
she's gonna have a hard start to school because she
Oh.
has to adjust. But I think when she adjusts and makes some friends and connects with her teacher and
Mm-hmm.
shows her sweet side, she doesn't have a bad side. She's a good girl. Um,
Oh.
she'll be fine. It'll be hard at first though. So that's what makes me
Yeah.
nervous. Because she's shy, I don't ever want her to come off as like doesn't want to participate, you know, cries,
Yeah.
crybaby, you
Yeah.
know, because that's not her.
Mm-hmm.
She just is trying to figure it out.
I mentioned I had a daycare,
Yeah.
and you have a daycare now.
I'm running a daycare now. Yep.
How many kids do you have?
I have four that aren't my own.
Hmm.
They don't come all at once,
Yeah.
just because I'm only allowed to have five kids in my care at one time. And they're great. I seriously lucked out on having such good families.
That's good. That's
Like,
good.
I don't have any issues. I can talk openly to all the parents, and they talk openly to me. They feel like family.
That's
It's
great.
really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. With the daycare kids, how was Harper with them when they first started coming?
She was good. She almost was like motherly and welcoming into her home
Oh,
and wanting to share. She was really, yeah, she took it really well. I will say it was probably a little bit easier because I have two sisters that come, and we knew them before I started the daycare.
hmm.
So she was kind of already friends. They're the same ages as Harper and Willow.
Oh,
So
perfect.
yeah, it worked out perfect. It was an easy transition in that way. And then for the new kids too. So I've had a few kids in and out, but right now, because of COVID kind of messed it up too. Like, I
Yeah.
lost some kids because their parents didn't want to send them anymore, and which is fine. But she's been very welcoming to all the kids that have come.
Oh, that's great. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad you have good parents. I
Oh, makes a difference.
I had one that was I regretted having her as one of my parents probably the second week after like talking to her. She was very religious, and it's not because of that. It was just weird because she was very religious, but she would talk crap about her mother-in-law all the time. I'm just like, "Oh, maybe no, don't talk about this stuff to me. Like I don't really know you." But like she had this thing of slapping pseudo cream on her kid. She came in my care at 14 months, just slapping pseudo cream on, and she wanted it thick and like super thick. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. But I don't know, like this kid kept getting like diaper rashes, and she was like getting mad at me. I'm like, I'm doing everything that you're telling me to do. And she's just so rude over text messaging. And like I always made sure I text and let her know what was going on. And
Hmm.
like I shouldn't be checking my phone as much, but she messaged all the time. So I wanted to make sure like I got back to her messages like almost quickly.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you have to really like put it on thick. I'm like, I do. But like she didn't think of it as maybe it's something that she feeds her, like something that she
Oh, that's exactly where
eats,
my
or
mind's
like
going.
that's
Yeah.
acidic. Like it's not because of the lack of pseudo cream that I was putting on. I was slapping that crap on. Anyways, she just got crazier and like just saying whenever I had kids over, when they were coming for interviews and stuff, I asked them, please do not bring any toys. Don't bring anything, just bring yourselves because I don't want the toys to get mixed in with my stuff because I had a ton of stuff, right? Like I had legit full daycare with every center. Then after I said, this isn't working out. I think you're not looking for something that
you can give.
That I can give.
Yep.
And then she just went even crazier. And then she said, you know what? She said, this toy. Oh, I know for sure my daughter brought that over and you kept it. You took it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, why are we fighting? Why are we fighting over a little block? It was a legit block.
A block? Oh, man.
Those tiny wooden blocks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tiny little wooden blocks that's like
a
size of my finger. Okay, do you want it? Like, I don't care. I have a ton of them. Would you like it? Like,
would you
know
like
what I mean?
one of my blocks if that's
it was so crazy.
Bugging you?
I told her it's not working out. I'm sorry. Like I can't. I would be happy to care for your daughter until you find another daycare. And she's saying I would not. You're saying you don't want my daughter. You're kicking her out. I don't want you to watch her. But I'm like, I'm not saying that. Like, I have it in text messages. It's all written here. Like you can't change my words.
That's so hard. That's so difficult.
She had to come back and pick up a few of her stuff. And she just started yelling. Nope. And her husband, that poor guy, her husband just kept quiet because he knew what type of person she is. And you could tell because he felt really guilty. He kept looking down. He wouldn't look at me.
Oh,
Josh and I just went into our car and we drove away because she was not getting off of our property. It was awful. Anyway,
that's bad.
I'm so glad you were able to find parents that are like you're laughing now because you're like, oh yeah, my parents are nothing like that. No, and I'm so happy you don't have to deal with that. That's so great.
I've heard horror stories like that. And I'm sure someday, definitely not my families I have now, but maybe I take on a new family. You never know, but I'm sure I'll get something.
Before we go, I wanted to play a game. Just to kind of end off on a fun note. Okay, so one of the games is called This or That. I'm going to say two things, and you're going to choose which one you prefer.
Okay.
Do you prefer having a clean house or a full night of sleep?
Clean house.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, man. See, I'm... Okay, I'm going to go to this question. Okay. Dealing with teething or sleep regression?
Teething.
Same. Okay.
Yeah.
Did your girls go through all the sleep regressions?
You know what? The worst one was when Willow just turned 2 and Harper was 3.5. It happened like back to back, like 2 weeks apart.
Oh.
And that was the worst one because when they were babies, it's understandable. And I know they're still young. Like we're obviously going to have sleep problems along the road. But when they're babies, it's a little more understandable because they don't know how to communicate. And obviously something's going on in their life. So I have a little more sympathy. But when I had my girls trained, like our bedtime routine was max 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It went to like 40 minutes with Willow and like 2 hours with Harper. Oh. It was bad. Ooh. Like Harper did not want me to leave all of a sudden, she did not want me to leave the room until she fell asleep. And it took about 3 or 4 nights of me like just fighting back and forth with her. Like, no, you got to go to bed. Like, what is this? And she wasn't trying to pull the excuses. It was literally screaming on the top of her lungs, Mommy, I want you.
Oh.
So I'm like, you know what? This is what she wants. Let's just try. I'll sit with her or lay with her until she falls asleep. So then what was like 2 hours became like 40 minutes with her. And then it got better and better and better, 30 minutes, 20 minutes to now she's much better. Bedtime is a little bit longer than what it was before. Before it was just sing your song, rub your back, say goodnight, give you a kiss, bye. Like that was it.
Yeah.
But now sometimes I stay with her till she falls asleep, but it's more like not because she's asking me, but because I want to give her like the extra time because I know she wants it.
Mm.
But it's much better. And Willow's now just back to her old routine. We can sing her a song, say goodnight, give her a kiss. Normally, like Adam will he'll do that stuff with her while I do Harper. And then I'll go say goodnight to Willow and then I'll go back to Harper.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah.
But sleep regression hasn't been too bad except for that 2 and 3-year-old.
Wow. Good for
one.
you. And you know what? I don't know how you're doing it with 2 toddlers. Like that's so crazy. Good for you.
They were 15 months apart.
Damn.
It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy.
See, I would choose teething too, simply because Jet hit all of the sleep regressions. So like all the ones that they list that you read about, the 4 months, whatever, like he hit them all. And oh gosh,
I remember you telling me about like sleeping problems.
Yes, sleep training.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to sleep train him so many times, probably I want to say 3 or 4 times. And I'm over it. He just finished teething about a month ago, and I'm so happy. He's done
same
teething.
As Willow.
You know, one thing, sleep regression would come, and as that slowly kind of went away, teething came, and then I had to start all over again with the sleep training. It was just one right after another. So I would take teething any day. Which brings me back to the other question. I would take full night's sleep because man, yeah. And now
and I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
With all of that. Yeah. I think for me, sleep was almost like a non-negotiable to me.
Yeah, good.
For them, because that was the time that I can refresh, whether I was sleeping or not sleeping. It was just my time.
Yep. Totally get that.
And my time looks different now than it was when they were smaller.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and I think they knew that. They just knew it was a non-negotiable. Like, you're going to bed.
Yeah.
I don't care how many bottles I got to give you. You're going to bed.
Josh and I, we set the rule that 8:00, that's our time. So
yeah,
it has to, because then you're just going to go insane and you need that time with your husband, right? So, okay. Would you rather clean up poop or clean up glitter?
I might actually go with the poop.
Yeah, me too. That's a no-brainer for me. I hate glitter. And glitter makes me think of all the glitter that was in the change room, at the nightclub, on the floor, right in front of my damn locker. And I hated it.
Yes.
Because nothing I want more is to take my my heels off as soon as I get back there. But I can't. Why? Because there's freaking glitter all over the damn floor.
Yes. That's so funny.
But I'll let my children play with it, but I hate it.
I hate it too. Ugh. I don't pull it out very often. And I hate slime too.
You know what? I haven't brought out slime. I'm terrified too. But they have all the Play-Doh in the world to play with.
Same thing, right?
Having your hair done daily or your makeup done daily?
Hair. I don't care about makeup.
Yeah, same. Showering in peace or shopping in peace?
That's a hard one, actually. Shopping.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard. Because as much as like a peaceful shower is like, heaven.
Yep.
It's really hard to shop with the girls.
Well, you got to bring 2 of them, right? Like all the time. Yeah.
I will say when COVID hit and like I wasn't going to the grocery store, I was doing online grocery shopping. Oh my gosh. It's like the best thing.
I don't know if we have that here. I'm sure we do, but I don't know.
I'm sure you do.
I'm gonna ask my husband, why the heck don't we do this?
Oh, even like Walmart does free pickup. So you don't even
Yeah.
pay anything
But
for like the service.
do they actually pick, let's say you're getting like groceries, do they actually pick nice apples for you and stuff? I think that's what it is. I'm so
Um,
picky.
yeah, it's been hit or miss. And when I've had bad stuff, you just like write in and you let them know,
Mhm.
and they give you your money back.
Oh,
I will
okay.
say that is probably the one, it is the one downside. And probably every other week I'll go for a produce run. But then I'll like be lazy again and just order it and it'll be fine for a little bit. And then somebody screws up and gets me a bad batch of something. I'm like, that's it, I'm going back to the store. But really for like your staples and stuff,
Yeah.
like, creamers or
Hmm.
milk. And I write a note for like milk and dairy products, like check the expiry date, please.
Oh, that's a good
Because I've
idea.
had them get me stuff that's expiring the next day.
Oh,
Yeah. So I haven't had that in a long time, but I write the notes now. So it's, yep.
if I had to pick one, I think I'd say shower in peace. Like Jet's at the point now where I have like a sling chair for him. And if I say, okay, mommy really needs to shower because she hasn't showered in a couple days. But I'm like, okay, mommy has to go shower. And he is actually really good now. He'll come sit, he'll get his tablet and he'll just sit nicely for, well,
Yes.
until
Yeah.
like the probably last few minutes of my shower. Then he starts to get up and roam around, and then I
Yeah.
get freaked out because he gets into
Yes.
everything. I think shower in peace because I used to love my showers. I would wake up every morning, like before kids. I'd wake up in the morning, have a shower first thing, and then at night I'd shower again right before bed. I used to love it. And now
Mm,
I don't get to do it
yeah, that doesn't
often.
happen. Do you know what I do? I wake up at 5:30 in the morning
Oh, well,
so I can work out and shower by myself
you know what?
with
Good for
nobody
you.
bugging me.
That's
It's the only way.
that you have great discipline. That's really good of you. My husband will most likely be listening to this. He is gonna laugh when you say 5:30 because he's be like, no damn way that she would wake up early. I am so used to waking up at 4, 4:30, 5:30, all because of Jet. And I hated seeing 5 o'clock anything when I'd wake up.
Mm-hmm. I did
Thank
too when my girls were little, but now they sleep in. So hopefully you'll get
Ah,
there. Hopefully you'll get there. It's taken a while. I've only started doing this since the summertime.
good for
7-ish
you.
months.
Good for you. Like right
We've gone to
now.
that.
Okay, that gives me hope.
It's
Jet,
definitely there.
Jet, I will say, has been waking up past 6 o'clock, which is really nice. Of course, the one day he decides to wake up at 7:15, like after 7 a.m., was the first day that Lucas had to go back to school. And that was on Wednesday because Tuesday was a snow day.
Hmm.
Of all days, the day that Lucas that we have to be up early to get Lucas ready for school, he decides to sleep in. And the last time he did that was 2 years ago. So anyway,
I wonder
um,
why he's an early riser.
the only thing I could think of is my husband, when I was pregnant, when he was at his other job, he would wake up early to go. And I always told him, please say goodbye and give me a kiss before you leave work every morning. And so anytime that he would come, I think he would wake up at like 4:30 or something. He would come and give me a kiss and rub my belly, and then Jet would start kicking
Oh,
every time. Yeah. So
oh.
I don't know if that is why, because I've read
Hmm.
where, say if the mom wakes up early to go to work or something, baby will get used to that time as well. So I don't know. I don't know if
Right.
I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
preemie thing as
Hmm.
well, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then for
Mm-hmm.
this last this or that, I think I know your answer since you just say that
Mm-hmm.
the girls sleep in. Would you rather sleep in or have a
Yeah.
nap
For me or my kids?
for you?
Me, have a nap.
Yeah, I don't.
I actually like getting up early. because I get that time to myself. It's so rewarding. And it's so crazy because before kids, you would never think this. Like you would never have that mentality.
No,
But
I
and
honestly,
now I would rather have a nap.
I hope I get to your point.
You will. You will. I
Because
promise.
right now I've into yoga, right? So I get my yoga in during Jet's nap. But then I feel bad because he absolutely loves yoga and he loves watching me. I just can't do it like all the time if it's just me and him because he'll run off and get into stuff and then my yoga will be all interrupted.
Yes.
But that's my time to do it is
Yeah.
during nap. I don't want to do it at night because like that's my time with
That's your
Josh.
time. Yes.
So yeah.
Here's another thing. Sorry, I'm just bringing back the whole being a bonus mom.
Yeah, of course.
Does Lucas's mom have other kids now or
No,
just him?
no, just him.
Do you often think about every time that Lucas is at your house that she gets freedom? I do. I always think, wow, that's great. She's got free babysitters.
I've never, no, I don't know. I've never thought of it that way. I do when Jet gets like super crazy, I think of, I need a break. But like,
Mm-hmm. Adam and I say to each other all the time, we just never get a break. And it's not complaining. We're happy. We love it. We love it.
Yeah.
But we never get a break.
Yeah. Although I do get a break at times because now that Jet and Lucas play with each other like so nicely on their own, that's my break. And I think just right now it's just with the potty training and Jet being so independent, like he'll go in the fridge and grab himself something. He'll grab he'll push the chair and like climb up. I'm just like, oh my God. Lucas never did these things. He never went and just got his own snack. And it's so different that it's just constant chasing. So although I can trust Jet, he just gets sneaky at times. So that's why I can't like completely take my eyes off
Let
of
your
him.
guard down. Yeah.
Like I said, with Lucas being here, he does give me a little break, especially when they're playing so nicely.
Yes, I agree. I feel the same way.
One last game. Do you know anything about wrestling at all?
No, actually.
No. Okay. So one of my games is called Survivor Series. So what happens is you pick a team of 5. Survivor Series is like a pay-per-view from the WWE. They make their own team. And anyway, so you're a team of 5. So you need to choose 4 other mom TV personalities that you'd want in your squad.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch much TV. Oh my gosh.
I don't know why, but I'm thinking of cartoons. So like I think of Marge Simpson. I don't know why.
That's funny. I'm trying to really think. Like I love Reese Witherspoon, but she's not like a TV personality though, right? She's just an actress.
But you know what? It's hard. So you can pick whoever is like a good mom as well. Or a fun mom.
Yeah. I don't even like follow people on Instagram to even think of this. Like I watch the news. I watch TP24 and CHCH News.
Yeah, I used to watch CP24 all the time when I was in Toronto. But okay, how about I don't know. I'm gonna say Pam Beasley. She's from The Office.
Who's that? Oh, okay.
Oh gosh.
I know it's bad. I'm trying to think of moms, like even just like in general. My mind is like blank.
How about movies? How about like Bad Moms? Like anybody from there?
Bad Moms.
Did you watch that movie?
A long time ago, I think. My problem is too is I'll watch. I don't care for TV, so I'll watch it for the pure like in that moment entertainment. I also used to really like Katie Holmes.
Oh,
you don't see her. You don't see her anymore, so I just not something you think on the top of your head. But I loved her.
Yeah, she's sweet.
What about like Princess Diana?
Oh,
She was a really good mom. Very involved. There we go. Yeah, that was a good one. I need to pick one more.
yeah, pick one more.
I need to like go on TMZ or something just to like, oh yeah, that person. I just want to pick anyone. I want to pick somebody that's like, I think is like a good person.
I'm just drawing a blank.
Me too. I'm going through shows that like Adam and I will watch. Like he loves Gold Rush, so we watch Gold Rush. And we've been watching Below Deck. There's no moms on those.
Never heard of those.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Are they on Netflix?
No, I don't think so. Maybe Gold Rush is.
Hmm.
But Gold Rush is like on TV right now. It's about them like digging for gold in Alaska.
Oh.
Yeah. Adam has like this dream of digging gold. And the Below Deck one has like 10 seasons. We get it off of like the little like internet box thing connected to our TV.
Android box?
Yeah, something like that. That one is about like a crew on a yacht, and like these really rich people come on, and it's just like a reality show kind of thing. Like it's dumb, but there's nothing really on right now to watch. There's no moms on.
There's no moms.
There's no moms on those shows. Later on, I'm gonna like.
You're gonna come up with all these names.
I'm gonna come up with like these amazing. Yeah, I know. I'm very proud of thinking of Princess Diana. I do think that's a good one because we did watch on Netflix some documentaries on her recently, and I saw a whole side of her that I never really realized, especially as like being a mom.
Okay, well, I will wait for your messages. You had a little side hustle.
I had a small like sewing business. So I'll like sew masks and snack bags, makeup bags. A huge hit that I do is I call it a diaper bag, but it's really only to keep like your diapers and your wipes and your cream. This is a bag that you keep within your diaper bag. If you're out and about and you need to change a bum, then
just real quick.
You just grab that one bag. You're not digging through your bag through different compartments. And everybody that I've made this bag for, like as a gift and stuff, now I'm getting orders from those people to give to other people. They just rave about it.
Nice.
Because it's just so easy.
Do you have a page that they can find you at?
I have an Instagram page, yes. It's hbmsewing.edition.
I don't even know what time it is. This is what I loved, is just being able to really catch up and listening to just your life, like your life after the club, and how amazing it is, because I love my life after the club too. So thank you so much for sharing your story yourself.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
More than happy to come on. I think this might be one of many for us.
Yes.
Just even coming on, chatting as moms. Because it's just, this is just like a tiny speck of it all.
I love it. I love it. Okay, Laura, thank you so much.
No problem. My pleasure.
That's it for episode 3. Until then, see you next Tuesday.